Hello everyone and welcome to episode 62 of the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. My name is Kay and welcome to my podcast all about my knitting and crocheting adventures. I am coming to you from Surprise, Arizona, right outside of the Phoenix area. Today is Thursday, February 28th. So welcome! I hope that you are all doing well. I hope that you've gotten lots of knitting done since the last time that we chatted, and I hope you're ready to chat about some works in progress and a new design. I've got a couple of things to share with you guys today that I'm excited about. So first up, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as The Crazy Sock Lady, and we do have a Ravelry group for the podcast. If you head over to Ravelry, go to the groups tab and search Crazy Sock Lady podcast, it's going to pop right up for you guys. That's where any knit-alongs, giveaways, swap-a-swaps, all of the fun stuff happens over there. So be sure to join us if you have not yet. And if you don't feel like looking for any of those places, right down here in the down bar, I always have links to everywhere that you can find me, as well as show notes for this episode, links to project pages, all of that's going to be down below. We just have a few announcements this morning. I want to remind you guys that the third annual Selfish Cal is still going on. This is for anything that you knit or crochet for yourself. It ends March 31st, so you still have a whole month to finish something for yourself or start something and finish it for yourself. So head over, there's a chatter thread that has all of the information as well as a list of the prizes that are available. We did have a couple of prizes donated since the last episode. We have 2 patterns from Nicole Simmons. It is winner's choice, so you'll get to pick any of her patterns. She has some gorgeous sock patterns. There's a link to her Ravelry store in the chatter thread for this knit along if you want to take a look at those. Then we also had a bag sent over. Let me grab her card out of here so I get the shop name correct for you guys, and I will link it down below as well. So this is from Tiffany of Southern Sparrow Handmade. She's on Etsy. It's southernsparrowhmade.etsy.com. Again, there'll be a link right down below for you guys. There's all of her info as well. And she has started making these adorable bags. So she sent one along for me, and then she also sent one for a prize. This is the one that she sent for me. Look how fun this is. This is so cute. I can't wait to get my next pair of socks into this bag. It's adorable. And then the inside, arrows. Got our cards down in there so I didn't lose them. Very well made. I'm so excited to try this. I think it's going to be perfect to stick down in a bag because I always have socks that I take on the go with me. So the one that she sent for a giveaway I have in here, and it is this super fun fabric with these cute birds. Look how sweet this is. Look at those birds. So this is going to be a prize for the Selfish knit along. Then the inside is feathers. So this will go into the prize bin for the Selfish knit along. A huge thank you to Tiffany and Nicole for donating some prizes for that knit along. And if you ever want to donate prizes for any knit alongs or giveaways for the podcast, just get in touch with me and let me know. Then next up, I wanted to talk about the swap-a-swaps because we have 2 open right now. So last episode, I talked about the Eternity Ranch Yarns one, and there weren't very many spots left as of last episode. But Rosalie added more spots to that. So we now have, actually, I think she's added more spots twice just since the last episode because it's been such a popular swap-a-swap. But there are 17 spots left in that swap-a-swap. I should probably talk about what the swap-a-swaps are first in case you're new and you've never heard of those. So what a swap-a-swap is, there's a different yarn dyer every month and you get 10 40-yard minis from that yarn dyer. This is how they come. They come in a bag, all nice and pretty. The front has the yarn dyer's name, colorways listed, and this is the latest one that I received from Jen Sheelan. So that's the ones from that Swapless Swap that we did. And the prices for this vary. It depends on where they're shipping to. So it's $35 to $45. And you can head over. There'll be links right down below in the down bar directly to the 2 Swapless Swaps that we have open. All of the information for how to pay, when the money's due, everything's going to be in those threads. So the first one, the Eternity Ranch yarns, there's 17 spots left. This will probably be the last spots that they add, I would imagine, because it's coming up, money's due on March 15th. So if you want a spot in this, go ahead over. It tells you how to sign up, and then the money is due March 15th. And then there's also another one open, and this one is with Leading Men Fiber Arts, and the money for this one is due April 15th. So you can go ahead and snag your spot. You just have to have the money paid by April 15th. And there are 41 spots left in that one as of now. That one is just recently opened. There have been quite a few people sign up already, considering I haven't announced it yet. So be sure, if you want to snag a spot for either of those, follow those links down below and head over and take a look. Okay, that's it for announcements. Now I want to show you guys a new design that the pattern is coming out tomorrow. So that's exciting. So this, I've shown the yarn before when I first started the cuff of the design, but now it's ready. I have the second sock blocking so I can get pictures, and everything else is ready to go for tomorrow. I'm just waiting on some feedback from a couple more testers to make sure there's nothing else that I need to adjust in the pattern, and then it's ready to go. So this is the Shallow socks. And I just have the one right here because the second one, like I said, is blocking. I blocked this one. I thought I had already blocked the first one and put it in my tote over here that I kind of keep finished things in to show on the podcast. But when I went to look, I was like, where did I put the first sock? I thought I blocked it. I didn't block it. It's still in the project bag. So I have to block it today so I can get the final pictures. But yes. This is the Shallow socks. So the yarn that I used for this design is from Allison over at Lofty Loops. And this is her Sally colorway on her Lofty sock base, which is an 80/20. And I'll take it off here so I can show you the front. The pattern is written cuff down. It does come with instructions for a slip stitch heel flap and then your gusset. And I worked this up on US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, and I did 64 stitches. So here's the patterning on the front. And I was struggling with what to name this. I could not think of a name. So I had put that in the info with my testers when I first sent them the pattern. Like, if you guys have any name ideas, toss them my way because I'm just not sure what I want to name this. And one of them said that the pattern reminds her of a brook in the shallow area where the water is kind of flowing in between the rocks. And so I definitely see that. Like, these are the little bumps would be the rocks, and then this is the water kind of flowing in between the rocks. So that, the shallow area of a brook, paired with the fact that I just this week watched A Star is Born, and I have had the Shallow song stuck in my head for days on repeat. These are the Shallow socks. It just seemed perfect, and it kind of seemed like a coincidence that I have that song stuck in my head, and then I got an email from one of my sweet testers saying that that's what this pattern reminded her of. So these are the Shallow socks, and they will be released tomorrow. I don't have a set time, but tomorrow, March 1st, keep an eye out on my Instagram. That's where I will post that the pattern is up, and I will also post a coupon code for a discount on the pattern for the release weekend. And if you happen to be watching this after the pattern has already been released, just look down below in the down bar and there'll be a direct link to that pattern for you to purchase it. I had a lot of fun with this one. I love a good simple knit purl textured pattern that's fun to do and easy to follow along. So one more look at it. The shallow socks. Keep an eye out tomorrow. All right. Let's see, what now? I have a couple of works in progress. So finished objects, I'm going to skip over that this week. I have a couple of things I finished, baby stuff from my sister. But what I'm gonna do, I'm looking over here because they're blocking right now. The cardigan I'm finally gave it a bath and I've got it laid out. I still need to get the buttons on it. I did finish a hat and it's blocking. And then I also finished a car seat cover that she can hang from like the handle of a carrier, and then it'll go down and cover. So I finished a couple of things, but what I'm going to do is wash the car seat carrier, have it all ready for next week's episode, and then we'll do a final run through of everything that I have completed for my sister, the baby gifts. So look forward to that next week. There'll be a ton of finished objects. A couple you will have already seen, but we'll just do like a final run through of everything that I've made for her. So we're gonna go right into works in progress. So in here I have just some vanilla socks that I'm working on. It's a bag from my friend Pam at Knit Group. And I showed these last week as a work in progress. And I actually finished one. I finished it just yesterday. I Kitchenered the toe right before I went to bed and then started the second sock. So here's the first one. It's just a pair of vanilla socks. And this yarn is Osterman Step. And I believe the color is 0198. It is on my project page, the color number. So I did US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, 64 stitches. That's my go-to for socks for myself. And the cuff I did 20 rounds of knit 2 purl 2 ribbing, 70 rounds for the leg, and then a slip stitch heel flap, gusset decreases, rounded toe. And the second one, like I said, I just started it last night. So I don't have much at all. Just the tiniest bit of a cuff. And I'm doing these on ChowGoo. I'm doing the magic loop. That's just kind of been, I love my DPNs, but I feel like I go through phases where I only want to use DPNs. And then I go through phases where I only want to do magic loop. I don't know why, I just go back and forth. And right now I'm definitely feeling like I'm in a magic loop phase. I feel like it's just been, I've been knitting so much on the go. And while I don't mind taking my DPNs on the go with me, sometimes it's just easier to not have to worry about dropping that extra DPN in the car or under bleachers at basketball or, you know, wherever. So right now I'm in a magic loop kick. Next work in progress is baby socks. I'm so excited about these. So, and I'm excited about this bag as well. I got this was a surprise package that came in the mail from Robin over at Stitch and Pink. You guys know I've showed her bag on quite a few episodes recently. It's been housing all of the baby stuff I've been making for my sister. And she sent this over as a surprise gift. Look at these kitties. How cute are they? And it's got the cork bottom. I love that. Here's her tag. And this little bag has a pocket too. How cute is it? So I knew as soon as I finished everything else for my sister that I had planned to do, and I used up all of that Bernat Sport lavender yarn, I knew I was going to start making baby socks. That was kind of my motivation. I really, really wanted to knit some baby socks, but it was like, okay, let's get through all of this other stuff first, and then you can work on baby socks. So all the other stuff is done. I finished it yesterday. This morning, I sat down with my cup of coffee and I cast on a wee little baby sock. Can you even handle this? Oh my goodness gracious. So I've got it folded over right now. That's how long the leg is. And you could of course do it either way. She can leave it long if she wants, or she can fold it over. So the pattern I used for this is Baby Mitten Socks by Barbara Prime. First, thank you so much to all of the recommendations that you guys gave me for baby socks. There are so many recommendations. This one and Mina Phillips, I can't remember what the name of her pattern is, but that's the next one I'm going to do. Those were probably the most two recommended. So I started with this one, and I believe Tabby and Rachel from Hey Sister podcast had talked about this pattern before as well. So I started with this one. I've got one done. I haven't started the second one yet, but this I feel like didn't take very long. So I started it this morning before I even got the kids up for school. And when I got the kids up, I think I was already down past the heel flap. I had finished the heel flap. I hadn't picked up any of the stitches for the gusset yet, but I was done with the heel flap and the turn. So it went super fast, I think. So I'm going to get the second one started and hopefully done this afternoon. I like it folded over. I just think that's so cute. Oh my goodness. I hope it fits good. It's just so sweet. So I feel like I don't know what, I feel like I was going to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. But yes, this one and Mina's were the most recommended. So I started with this one. I'm going to finish the second one. I have plenty of yarn left, and then I'm gonna go I think I already have Mina's baby sock pattern, I think. If not, I'm gonna buy it and do that one next. But the yarn I'm using for this is leftovers from my Shusui shrug. This is Yarn Cafe Creations, and I believe the colorway is Thorn. It's just some fingering weight sock yarn that I have left, and I'm doing them on US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, ChowGoo again. And I have these are 24-inch cable, I believe. I don't know why. I usually do 32-inch when I do Magic Loop for socks, but for some reason, I don't know if I just accidentally ordered 24-inch at one point in time or why I have these, but I have two pairs of US 1 2.25 millimeter 24-inch cable. So I thought it would be good for baby socks since they're not as big of a circumference. For the pattern, I did follow it almost exactly. You cast on 32 stitches. It is a free pattern. You cast on 32 stitches. I did a slip stitch heel flap. And that's one thing that is not in the pattern, but I just worked it the same. I just did slip stitch instead of just knit one row and purl one row, as they said in the pattern. So yes, that's my other work in progress, and hopefully, I don't know how many socks I'm going to do for her. How many pairs? A couple pairs at least. We'll see what I get done. Today the plan is to finish the second baby sock, and then I want to finish the cuff on this vanilla sock so that it is ready to go for this evening. Austin has basketball practice, and he wants me to come sit and watch the whole practice since I haven't watched a practice with this club yet. So I'm going to be sitting through practice tonight, so I'm going to need some vanilla knitting. So that'll be perfect. And I also need to get another vanilla sock on the go because we have our first game with his basketball club this weekend on Saturday. So I need another vanilla sock to have in case I finish that one. Kind of like a backup vanilla sock. I think that's the struggle when you're a fairly fast knitter. I feel like I can whip through socks. And when you're going to be gone all day or you're going on a trip or something, that's when I worry that I'm going to finish the sock and then have no knitting. So I think I might have Wyatt pick out some yarn this evening, and then maybe I'll start that tomorrow just in case I would finish this vanilla sock on Saturday, which is a good possibility. If I work on it tonight, I'll probably work on it some tomorrow, and then Saturday. You gotta have backup vanilla socks. It's a thing. So now I just have something that I received in the mail that I want to share with you guys. So my friend Amber Crawley of Maker's Haven, you may follow her. She's the dyer behind the Maker's Haven yarn, Maker's Haven podcast. She just released her very first novel, her debut novel. I had to get the book and yarn box, and I am so excited. It arrived over the weekend, I think is when it arrived, but I haven't started reading the book yet because I was almost done with another book I was reading, so I wanted to be good and finish that one first and really be able to sit down and spend some time in this world that Amber has created and really kind of savor it. So I'm excited. I finished the other book, so now I'm ready to dive into this, and I cannot wait. So if you have received the book box, I haven't opened any of the things that were in the box, but if you don't want to be spoiled about any of it, maybe fast forward a little bit so that you don't see what's in the box if you haven't received yours yet. But I would kind of think that maybe everybody has, I don't know. So the book that Amber wrote is called On Luna Time. And here is, I've got everything in this basket that came in the box. I was so excited when I opened this. It's kind of like a little, I want to say treasure hunt, but that's not, you're not hunting anything. So that's not really the right thing to say. But it came, there's the book, and then there's also a bookmark in here that Amber painted that is so pretty. So I'm excited to use that as well. But inside of the box, there were little wrapped parcels. And then one last one. All of these sweet wrapped parcels. And this is so much fun. What I mean by it's kind of like a treasure hunt, they tell you when to open them. So this one is open on page 26, open on page 60, 110. So it's such a sweet way of doing this. I don't know, this just makes it so much more fun and shows you how much thought Amber put into this box. It tells you what page to open these on. So I'm so excited. That kind of means I mean, obviously it's a book and yarn box, so things are going to be personalized towards the book. But this means, like, to me, it's just like, okay, they're really going to be personalized with this book. I don't know. I can't wait. I'm excited to start it. I'm probably going to start it this evening. I normally read before I go to bed. So I will take all of this upstairs and put it by the bed so that I can get that started this evening when I head upstairs. So head over. I don't know. I know Amber was putting up more book boxes. She was going to do a second round of them. So if you're interested, you can head over and see if she still has some spots available. I'll make sure to link her shop down below. The book is also available on Amazon. You can purchase the book or the Kindle option. All right, I think that actually wraps it up for today. I think it was a pretty short episode with me not showing a lot of finished objects today. Next week, we're going to do a full roundup of all of the baby stuff. Next week's episode will probably be on Wednesday. That's what I'm aiming for because I'm heading out of town. I talked a little bit about it last episode, I think. I'm heading out of town on a red-eye flight like 1:30 a.m. Friday morning. So I don't think I'm going to have time on Thursday of next week to get an episode done, but I'm aiming for Wednesday, and we'll do a run through of all of the baby things. But speaking of me going out of town, I wanted to ask, I'm flying to Cleveland, Ohio, anyone around there, like, can you recommend, are there yarn stores? I haven't even Googled it. Obviously, just Google if there are any yarn stores. But I want to go by some recommendations. So are there any yarn stores in Cleveland that you guys can recommend? I don't even know, this isn't a knitting related trip at all, but I will be in Cleveland Friday and Saturday, and then I come home Sunday. So maybe I can squeeze in a trip to a yarn store. I don't know that it'll happen. But in case I do have the time, are there any yarn stores in Cleveland that you guys can recommend? Let me know down below if there are. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I hope that you guys have a great week. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys next week about all of the baby gifts that I've completed. Be sure to check Instagram tomorrow for the, oh, if I can reach it, release of the shallow socks. I will post on there as soon as the pattern is up for purchase. And like I said, there will be a coupon code for a discount that will last through the weekend, this weekend. Words and things are falling. It is time to go. All right, so I will catch up with you guys next week. I hope you get a lot of knitting done between now and then, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.